So what we're going to do here is ride her down through here and give you a lesson on how to shift gears on her, how to tweak her into her gait. So you got to listen to what her feet sound like on the asphalt. You can watch how Kenny's seat is moving in the saddle. You can watch her head, watch the tension on the reins. Try to get an idea when he's cueing her for more ground speed and whenever he's lightening his heels up on her and just letting her flow when she gets it all together. So we're going to try to get that all through on this video for you. So Kenny, the one thing that makes it very difficult for us to see is when you're spurring. So you may have to give us a little sign here that on that. And when she's in that little sloppy gait, I want you to tell him what you're doing to bring her on into that crisp flat foot or running walk, whichever gait you're working into, okay? So let's just make it happen. So we're going to do the flat foot first. And here she is on another little slab here, and she's looking around. She's actually staying in her gait better than I would expect her to, so she's doing a good job there. Now right there, he had to work her a little bit. She looked at that sign over there and kind of missed a step, and he pulled her head up and away they went again. It's kind of hard to teach you what to do when she's not doing what's right, because now they're, hear that on the ground? Now she's out of that. Hear that? That's not right. That's right. You can barely see the difference, but you can sure hear it out here on the asphalt. Not perfect. Not perfect. There, perfect. Perfect. Now he's letting her flow into that gait. He's probably tickling her with that spur, try to keep that ground speed up. Just a little tickle with that spur and pump the spur. Let's stop right here. Now, we just brought her out of the barn down here, and this is what we've got. And
I was pushing her past her points just to get her to mess up, so you could see what she was like when she was messed up, how I corrected it to get her to fall back into it. To get her to flat foot walk, her command is slow. To go into a running walk, it's walk. And then when you get her into a rack, just push her and hang on, because she's going to go into it. Smooched her a lot, continually tell her to walk or slow on those other two gears. On her rack, just push her, push her, push her. She's going to level out with you. You can probably get a little more speed out of her once you're comfortable with her, but that's going to be all up to how you feel on her and how fast you want her to go in that rack. You can't see it on the videos, but I'll just sit here and kind of do this a little bit with my foot, just almost all the time, just to keep them alert and going and pushing through everything. I'll just kind of, if you're watching it on the video, you're probably going to think my feet is just moving with her, and they're really not. It's me just kind of tickling her just a little bit, just to let her know she's got to keep going. I do that with all the mules. Everything I ride, it's just the way I do it.
Because a mule, unlike a horse, is going to settle out and slow down more likely than to get up and go too fast. So we have to help them continue to go forward. We have to have the ground speed. You've probably watched the training video, but you have got to have the ground speed to get the gait you need. So when we start training, when we're working with them, we are very particular to have the exact speed on the ground we want to get the best gait that they can give us. And most people wouldn't notice the differences in them. So that's good. Now, can you tell us about your spurring, tickle, punch, jerk them? I mean, let's talk about rein tension and spur for a minute.
You probably noticed a while ago whenever she would go out of her walk, and I'd tell her slow. I'd pop this rein. I always jerk the rein that's closest to the ditch or where they're going to have to go into something rough that they don't want to go into. That way they know they've got to straighten up.
And they don't, and if you pull two reins, that would be an indication to the mule that it can slow down. We don't want it to slow down. We're scolding it with a one rein jerk, and we're telling it to keep its ground speed but get in the gate. So that's why we use a one rein jerk. It doesn't lose our ground speed that we work to get.
With her, I've got quite a bit of tension on her right now. She's not relaxed yet. Once she relaxes, you can pretty much just let the reins go on her and she's going to stay in it. Once she gets to know you, it'll take a while for her to get to know you and you to know her to get to that point. But you should be able to ride with your reins like this by the time you're done. I mean, just pretty well loose, and she'll do it. Right now, she's not quite relaxed yet, so I've got a little more tension on her than I normally would.
And so we're talking a rein without tension in a flat foot and a run and walk. And of course, when you hit a rack, you're going to have tension on the rein because it becomes a little bit of work to get that accomplished. So what about the spurring, Kenny? Tell us about spurs and how you're dealing with that. Show me your spur first of all. He rides a fairly small spur by my standards. So anyway,
when I jerk this right rein when she's not right, I will automatically hit her pretty hard with that left spur. And if I'm going or if I had to jerk the left rein, I'll just get pretty good with that right one like that. It's got her attention. But normally with her, you just kind of got to tickle just a little bit, and she'll respond to you.
Okay, so what we're saying here is when we jerk the right rein working on the perfect gait, we know that she's going to lose some of her ground speed even with our best effort. So when we jerk that rein, we're punching her with a spur to keep that liveliness and that ground speed going for us, right?
Yes.
Okay. We want you to see how to ride her at the first part of your ride so you can keep working towards more gait. You stay on this mule for 20 minutes and all this stuff becomes automatic every day, But we want you to do your work on a road or a hard packed dirt road or something like this so you can hear that. She backs a little bit. We don't worry about backing. We don't get anywhere when we back up, so we're usually firing forward when we're training.
Back. Oh.
Bring her back up.
That is another thing. And, yeah, you probably just noticed I was spurring her, but she didn't move. We always tip one off a little bit to get them to move. If you don't tip her off, she's not going to move for you. She's going to stand there.
So if you don't tip her off and you're just spurring her, she's confused because we tip one way or the other and then smooch her spur to get that forward momentum. The reason we do that is so that when people can't ride very good get in the saddle and they bump them with their heels or hit them on the butt or something, they don't think about moving off. They know, go ahead and tip her and move her. They know that this is her cue to move out right there. Okay, so now we're going to start her out slow and it's going to sound real sloppy. And then we'll get her into her gait, push her right into her good flat foot gait. And then we're going to go a ways in a flat foot, shift into a run and walk, go away, shift back to the flat foot, and try to help you see how to change these gears. But let's start her out in that sloppy kind of. Okay, so we're going to start with a run and walk and and go up here a little bit and get into that rack. So here we go. Rack. You got a heck of a mule, dude. And she can go about half again faster than this. We just don't like to go that fast. Now she's hitting a big uphill run here. Let's see how she holds it together. Hey, that's sweet. He's a punching her down there on those spurs. Light her up. Starting to get light in the front end right here, so there it is.